Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Now, you know this is a 100% viewer-funded platform. There's no plan B for me. This is it. So I have some plans to do some studio upgrades, some equipment upgrades so I can bring you a better product. So here's where you come in. I need you to reach all the way up inside your generosity. You got your hand in there to the elbow. Pull something out, whatever it is. I appreciate it. Make sure you clean it off first. I'll have links in the description box, Cash App, PayPal, whatever. I need you to help me bring you a better product. So really, this is for you. Now, your girl, yes, your girl, not mine, Lizzo, is in big trouble, pun intended. Miss Body Positivity, Miss You Better Not Bully Them. She pulls people up on stage. She pulls people up on stage out of the crowd, and if they're being bullied, she said, one girl had a sign, "Help me tell my haters to leave me alone." She says, I get picked on, I get bullied, and I love you, Lizzo, and I want to be just like you. And she says, you better leave her alone. She's my friend. If you want to bully her, you got to go through me. You know that's not going to happen. You ain't going to get through Lizzo. She looks like the 1992 Cowboys offensive line. But she's in a bit of trouble. How could Lizzo be in trouble? She is body positive. She's all about the alphabet soup group and the Ku Klux Klans. She's drinking all the Kool-Aid. She's gotten all the pokes. How could you possibly get Lizzo in trouble? Well, it sounds to me like she's full of shit. It sounds to me like she's exactly what she claims to be against when you get behind the scenes. Just like the left, the racist, fascist, and those are the biggest racists, and those are the biggest fascists. They make Stalin and them blush. But she's talking all that shit in public on Twitter or X, whatever it's called. But it turns out she was a real bitch. It turns out she's like the character Evelyn from The Wiz. If you don't know what that is, that's the black folks version of The Wizard of Oz. And the Wicked Witch was this woman named Evelyn. This big old black woman looked like Nell Carter, all pissed off. Sounds like she was more like that. She was less like Glinda and more like Evelyn. These three dancers of hers did an interview, and they did multiple interviews, but they did one, all three of them together on CNN. And I believe them. I'll put a link in the description box to that article so you can check it out. I believe them. Those women didn't seem like they were lying. They said all of the dancers witnessed it. So since it's a lawsuit, they brought a lawsuit against her for sexual harassment, false imprisonment, all kinds of shit. Lizzo? So if their lawyers call these people or can subpoena these people to court to testify, chances are you're going to hear a lot of people echoing their same stories, saying, yes, that's exactly what happened. Now, what did happen? When I read this, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That sounds like bullying. That sounds like not letting people live their truth, right? So these three women are three of her dancers, and they said during a concert, a tour in Amsterdam, they went to a club, and women were shooting dildos out of their vaginas, and they had to catch them. They were shooting bananas out of their clams, and the women had to catch them. They had to touch the dancers' titties. They were forced to. They were forced to catch slimy bananas and dildos at a club. One girl said Lizzo had to be restrained because she was cracking her knuckles and was going to come up to her and whoop her ass. She was fat shaming these women. And what's funny, when you read these articles on these leftist rag publications, when it's one of theirs, when it's a Lizzo who's on their side, who's drinking all the Kool-Aid, who's saying all the right things, who's reading from that script, then it's called weight shaming. She allegedly weight shamed these women. She didn't fat shame them. Now, if you're talking about Lizzo, you're talking about one of theirs, and it's fat shaming. But if Lizzo does it, it's weight shaming. One woman said Lizzo made it clear that if she left the stage, she was going to get fired. This was during a 12-hour re-audition for a job that they already had. And the girl said she pissed her pants. She pissed herself on stage because she didn't want to incur the wrath of Lizzo. But you know, like I imagine when Lizzo talks, when she gets mad, it's like two plant-eating beasts. You know, when the males have their annual fight for reproduction rights. So they got the pick of the cows in the herd, and it's early in the morning, and you can see their breath. You can't leave the stage or you're fired. You better piss. Woman said she pissed her pants on stage. That doesn't sound very inclusive. That sounds very oppressive, Lizzo. So you mean to tell me these people that are held up as some kind of role model, they're on the right side of history? You mean they're a bunch of tyrannical assholes in real life? You mean to tell me they are exactly what they claim to be against? One girl said she was forced. It was after a performance. She was accused of being out late at night, and she was interrogated and had to give them all this personal information about herself and about her weight. That doesn't sound like the Lizzo that we see at these award shows, where she's talking about being proud of being big and all this bullshit. Well, then why are you making them sad? Why are you fucking with them, telling them they can't gain weight? I figure if Lizzo's in charge and she's all about being a big girl, it'd be a fucking hot Cheeto party after every damn performance, right? Wrong. Turns out Lizzo is a fucking psycho. It sounded very, very culty. Very cult-like. Either you go along and you engage in these rituals, or you're out of here. You'll be exiled. And you know, somebody of her status, if they blackball you, or you shouldn't work with her, she was a problem, she had an attitude, she didn't follow the rules, that could be a real problem for your career. And that's fucked up, because the left wouldn't do that. They're about inclusivity, diversity, and acceptance, right? But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.